Welcome back to Television 87. Let's jump into it. I want to get into this story that came out a few days ago, courtesy of Love B. Scott. Kenya Moore's ex demands she be found in contempt. Furious 4-year-old daughter was near Real Housewives of Atlanta argument. Now, her ex, Marc Daly, you guys know they've been going through a divorce since 2021. The divorce is longer than the entire marriage, which is crazy. But Mark has demanded that Kenya be found in contempt of court because Brooklyn was shown on this episode of The Housewives of Atlanta where there was some arguing going down and things got tense. Now, you guys remember on the Birmingham episode when Marlo comes kicking on the door like a crazy person and Kenya opens the door. She says, "Hey, my daughter is in here sleeping." Da 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 da. And then we later hear Kenya explaining that, hey, Brooklyn was scared and this, that, and the third. So because of that, Mark is saying, look, we agree that she could be on the show. However, in a situation where it's some arguments going down or it's any situation where I feel like my daughter is unsafe, that's going to be a violation or put in direct, line of danger. He feels like Kenya violated that. But it wasn't even really Kenya's fault though. She didn't know Marlo was going to be at the door kicking in and banging on the door like that. But that's unfortunate. So let me just give you a little bit of details of this whole thing. Before the divorce, Kenya filed a separate case over custody, pleading for primary custody. As part of the case, Mark fought to keep Brooklyn off Real Housewives of Atlanta. In the end, the parties agreed Kenya would have sole custody of Brooklyn with Mark having visitation. The judge ruled the minor could appear on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but with restrictions. The judge said he was not convinced and no evidence had been shown that Kenya would place Brooklyn in any environment that might not be in the minor child's best interest or may in any way be considered dangerous or inappropriate. So, this goes on to say, as part of the court order, the judge ruled that Kenya would have final authority to decide to include Brooklyn on RHOA or for any other economic opportunities. However, the judge said Kenya was required to discuss the opportunity with Mark. Quote, Kenya shall notify Mark of any opportunity where the minor child will appear on camera and shall advise Mark of the content of the appearance. The minor child will only be involved in opportunities that are age appropriate. Now, this past Sunday, we did see little Brooklyn on at a Kenya Moore hair care video shoot. That was so cute. The little commercial, whatever they were doing. She comes out in her outfit, Kenya Moore hair care. They do a little dance, and then boom, we don't see Brooklyn no more after that. So, I mean, obviously Kenya would not put Brooklyn in any danger, but again, she didn't know Marlo was going to do that. And mind you, they had already, Kenya was like, good night to the ladies. She was done for the evening. So then for them to come and bring that to her door, it's like, it's just all this extra foolery. And now Mark is upset. The divorce has already been dragging on long enough, and now it's just something else to add on to it. So let me know what you guys think about that. This was also posted on the Bravo Shade Room, and I do want to get into some of these comments that were left on this post. Someone says, I blame the producers for egging Marlo on in her toxic and disrespectful behavior. Someone else says, Mark don't give two F's about his child. He only cares about making Kenya's life miserable. What do you all think about that? Because there was one episode last season, I believe on Marlo's trip when they went up to the cabin or something like that. Kenya came late and Mark was supposed to have Brooklyn for maybe a night, 2 nights, and Kenya had to go get her because Mark was like, okay, I'm done. You come take her back. It's like he didn't even want to keep her overnight or something like that, if I remember correctly. Someone else says this man is real involved in the divorce for someone who didn't put an ounce of effort into the actual marriage. LOL. Kenya should have all the smoke from Marlo because of this, and I am not the biggest Kenya fan. Do you guys blame Marlo for all of this, or do you guys think Kenya should not have even brought Brooklyn on a trip? Let me know what you guys think. But this trip, the Birmingham trip, was to Kenya was supposed to be performing at the halftime show, so obviously she would want her daughter to see that. That was the entire purpose of the trip, but we all know Kenya ended up getting sick at the end. So another comment, his whole argument is effing moot because Brooklyn wasn't on camera at any point during that trip. And now the fact that Marlo has caused disruption in Kenya's rights to parent her child as she sees fit, there will be no possibility of reconciliation, which sucks. For what it's worth, wasn't they asleep and no longer filming? That's what was happening. Like like I said, Kenya was gone for the night. Marlo involved the show by coming to her door to harass her. Mark is reaching for straws. How he has income at this point dragging along this case is insane. Marlo needs to be caught out for this. It's absolutely disgusting. Mark is giving desperate and broke, and all honestly, like WTF. How was she supposed to know that Marlo was going to act like that? That's a good point. He's acting like Kenya had the baby at the club. Another comment, Kenya is an amazing mom. Mark is controlling and barely ever has his kid. She ain't trying to kick down the door. This man is drama. Someone else, another comment. This will be the last one I read. BK was there to attend her mother's performance and ride the float. Saying she should have left her at home makes no sense. Brooklyn's presence was the most important considering her mother's performing and she was to participate in the float ride. Not to mention they had wrapped and were in bed, thus being this shouldn't have happened. Kenya was caught completely off guard. This created a whole ripple. Hey, those are some of the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Mark Daly demanded Kenya to be found in contempt of court. And all because Marlo decided to get upset and come bam on the door while Kenya in Brooklyn was in there sleeping. Drop your thoughts down below. Thank y'all for watching Television 87. If you want to check out more of my Atlanta Housewives content, I got a video right here for you guys. And I will catch you guys in another video.